I work the night shift at a mid-range hotel just outside Denver. Nothing special. Most nights were boring. But March 3rd was different. At around 11:50 p.m., a man walked into the lobby. Tall, pale, wearing a heavy gray coat even though it wasn't cold. He avoided eye contact, didn't smile, didn't talk. He simply said, "Room. One night." I checked in his ID. Everything looked normal, but something about him felt off. I gave him room 409 on the 4th floor. As he walked away, I noticed something disturbing. His coat sleeve lifted slightly, and his arm had deep scratches, long, fresh, red. I pretended not to see. Around 1:12 a.m., the phone rang. Front desk. A nervous female voice whispered, "Someone is in the hallway." "Which floor?" "4th floor, near room 409. My stomach tightened. I checked the cameras. Sure enough, a figure was standing completely still outside room 409, head tilted, hands down, not moving. Not the guest, someone else. A woman from room 412 came out to see what was happening. The figure turned slowly and walked toward her. She panicked and ran back into her room, slamming the door. I picked up the phone to call security, but when I looked back at the monitor, the figure had vanished, completely gone. No stairs, no exit, no movement, like it dissolved into the hallway. At 2:04 a.m., the guest from room 409 came down. His face was pale, eyes wide. He said, "Something is wrong with your hotel." "What did you see, sir?" He looked behind him as if someone followed. I heard someone breathing inside my room. "Did you see anyone?" He shook his head violently. "No, but the breathing was right next to my bed." I offered to change his room. He refused. "No, I can't move rooms. She won't let me." She? But before I could ask, he walked back upstairs, muttering to himself. At 3:09 a.m., the entire 4th floor called the front desk. Every guest reported the same thing. Loud banging, running footsteps, a woman crying, someone whispering in the hallway. I checked the cameras again. This time, I froze. A woman, long black hair, hospital gown, was walking slowly in the hallway, barefoot. She stopped at room 409, pressed her ear against the door. Then she started scratching the door violently, over and over, the same long scratch marks I saw on the guest's arm. I called security, but before they reached the 4th floor, the woman disappeared again. At 3:37 a.m., the fire alarm on the 4th floor beeped twice, the signal for disturbance inside a room. Room 409. Security and I rushed up. The hallway smelled like hospital antiseptic. When we reached the door, the guest was screaming inside, "Get out! She's not real! She's dead!" We forced the door open. What I saw still haunts me. The guest was pressed into a corner, covering his face. The room was ice cold, all lights flickering, and on the wall above the bed were fresh scratches spelling 2 words: "He lied." The guest kept repeating, "I told her the truth! I told her! Please stop!" He was shaking violently. We evacuated him immediately. 2 days later, a detective visited the hotel. He asked to see the guest's profile. Then he told us something chilling. The man in room 409 was a suspect in a missing person case. A nurse named Sienna had disappeared from a hospital 3 weeks earlier. She was last seen arguing with him outside the hospital's emergency exit. Her body was never found. Detectives suspected the man hurt her, but they had no proof until he booked room 409. Because the scratches on the wall, the wording, that was the exact message she had written in her diary. He lied. They arrested him that afternoon. He confessed within hours. He had killed her and hidden her body in a forest area. But the detective also said something terrifying me. He said, when we arrested him, he said she never stopped following him. He said she sleeps at the foot of his bed every night. Room 409 was closed permanently. But guests still complain. Lights flicker. Someone cries in the hallway. Scratching sounds at night. Cold spots near room 409. One guest even said, a woman in a hospital gown was standing at my door at 3 a.m. and she kept whispering, he lied. Don't open the door. I quit the hotel a year ago, but sometimes, late at night, I imagine that same woman walking down another hallway somewhere, still searching for the man who lied to her.